Welcome back to another different review this time. This time I had the chance to take out a dirt bike thanks to my good friend, lovely guy, Lone Rider BH. Online, everybody's talking about this is the top tier bike to have to go off-road. This is the 2020 KTM 500 EXC. I really enjoyed this bike. Everything felt effortless. As someone who's never been really off-road, someone who's never ridden one of these, this thing makes you feel like you're floating on bumpy surfaces. The suspension on this is something insane. WP Explorer, top of the line, the most sought after bike, mostly because of this rear suspension. It's got the same engine as the Husqvarna, but people prefer this bike because of that suspension, and it did really well with my weight. Sitting right on them, you suddenly feel it squat. And the funny part is that I learned about this is as I was riding, not for the road, but it will tackle any bump like that. A Lone Rider loaned me these boots, and my god, they do a difference. Obviously you have to wear the right gear for such a thing, but I noticed a lot of the time when I'm shifting gears, I don't know what gear I'm in, and sometimes you don't feel like you're actually shifting the gear. And another thing I learned, you gotta get off of it first and then pull down the stand. These dirt bikes don't have is the safety features of not switching on when the lever is down, when the stand is down. This one, you're on your own. You have to know if the stand is up or down, otherwise you're screwed. It will not tell you. There's no indication if your stand is down by switching off, putting it in gear, or switching it on. This bike is raw. The owner of this bike, he even kept a stabilizer for the steering wheel when you go over bumps at a speed so that this thing doesn't snap and help make you fall doing a somersault. He has a bigger tank. The turn signals customized and removed. They were over here. He's got them here on the handlebars. He's got a high profile light. This thing is worked on so well. I mean, you gotta talk about being an actual off-road rider and the convenience that you're talking about. The brakes are good. The brakes are amazing. It's got Brembo master cylinder. It's got Brembo brakes. Look at that. It's got the Brembo master cylinder, which is adjusted with the lever being adjustable. It's a single disc. Really good, really smooth, amazing off-road. You gotta learn a lot about braking. It's completely different when you're on asphalt. This is a single cylinder 4-stroke engine that doesn't produce anything more than 50 horsepower, and the torque is like 27 foot-pounds of torque, but it's so torquey while you're twisting the throttle. It's so much fun off-road. It's so much fun, and it helps you. I mean, the throttle is so well put with this engine that when you're at a turn and you just give it a little more twist of the gas, you can feel the back slide with you. It's kind of like training you what is the limit. Now that's what's the limit on a surface that's slippery. What is the limit on a surface like the asphalt on a sport bike? I believe this training on such bikes allows you to be a better rider, which is why MotoGP riders always practice and love to go train on the track, on dirt tracks, on motocross tracks. They all, if you look at their social media accounts, they all train on the dirt. Why? Because it helps them figure out their limits, not only on the track when they're doing their free practice and they're qualifying, but it helps them become better riders. And I believe that this is something every rider should do, because the more variety of the types of bikes you ride, the better you understand and appreciate the bike you own, the better you know how to push the limits. And this bike, I believe, or this type of bike, should be something everybody should experience and at least own for at least a year or two, and maybe as a second or a third bike. Because without understanding your limitations, without going off-road, And it even helps you enjoy a different terrain and a different appreciation for a different type of sport within your two-wheeled mafia or your two-wheeled culture. But overall, this was an amazing bike. I had to learn that I shouldn't get too used to sitting on the bike while going on the terrains, because that's where I fell. I was sitting. I was too afraid to give it a bit too much gas when I was on really soft sand. I should have been standing up so that the back can play a little more, so I can have more control. It's amazing. You have to experience this bike. I had so much joy riding this bike. So much joy.